Hello, everyone, and welcome to Being Naked in Love, Sex, and Romance. My name is Venus Castleberg, your host, and I am so happy. And how much fun can we have with Chrissy Dorn today? Hi, Chrissy.
Hello, Venus. Oh, I feel as if I've just seen you like 5 minutes ago at a different space on this world in Mexico.
In Mexico, in the tropics. I know, I miss the tropics. Awesome. So I started this broadcast a while ago, really just in this vein of talking about vulnerability, and now it's like it's branched off to like, okay, how can we talk about vulnerability in a different way? And I know that talking about love, sex, and romance is kind of taboo, and we're like trained almost to talk about love, sex, and romance and relationships from the trauma and drama of it, from the like there's a problem and how do I fix it, instead of what else is possible. So Chrissy, I invited you here today because I wanted to pick your brain a little bit and get from you, what do you know is a different possibility in love, sex, romance, relationships, any of that?
Where do we start? For me, relationship was always a bit different because I'm probably one of those people who has been more out of relationships than she has been in relationships, simply because I chose to do so. As for me, it was always more important, I say nearly always, because of course everybody has a sort of little relationship where you just go, oh, why did I choose that? And you just go, oh my God, okay, that's why. Sort of in hindsight, you just go, oh, that's why. So for me, the most important thing was always the relationship that I had with me and my body. And very often we go through sort of dramas or take on dramas from other people who say, without you, I'm only half a person and whatever. And I've never done that. So whoever had a relationship with me was always it was always a bit of a challenge for them, because I was on one hand, yes, connected in this reality, connected with people. And at the same time, I was just being me. And obviously the energy on that is totally different. And of course, that's also with regards to sex and rock and roll. It's always a different space that you're actually doing this from or being this from.
Right. Well, you said something really key, and I love it because that's exactly where I'd love to go. Then you said you really worked on having a better relationship with you and your body. Would you say more about that?
Well, if you're not even in relationship with you and your body, if you don't even know what does my body require and what actually is fun for me, what is light for me, what would I like to do, how can you be with somebody else? And how often was I also, for example, with work, and I often found myself actually living in the reality of somebody else in a way that I forgot to take my body along or forgot to take me along. And as soon as I saw that, which was, as you know, very often, and they talk about that from biochemistry as well, within 6 to 8 weeks, the immune system of the animal world, but also of the human world, knows, is this actually the person that I would like to have copulation with in order to produce children or whatever it is? And then after those 6 to 8 weeks, very often it goes into, sex is not really important. We're having sex all the time, and sex is not really important. And all of a sudden, sex becomes important because the immune system already tells the body, think about this guy or this woman or whatever it is. Have you experienced that as well? Sort of after 6 to 8 weeks, you just go, should I continue or not?
I think mine happens a little.
What is the relationship with you and your body in a way when you listen to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I know for me, I think my clock's a little quicker. My body's a little quicker to let me know. Like, no, I don't think so. Yeah. So, awesome. So Chrissy, I'm just curious because I don't actually know this about you, but have you ever been married? Do you have kids? Did you go that route at all?
No, I had 3 proposals. One of them, in hindsight, you go, yeah, that would have been actually great, because he would have given me the freedom and I would have given him the freedom to whatever, live our lives and still have a great life together. Because isn't that all what it's all about? That you can can be who you be, and you still have ways to actually have a relationship together, and that is the so-called relationship done different, in a way that you're in total allowance of what the other person is and does and whatever. And I always thought, getting married, I mean, what for? One of them literally said, "Now you're mine. Can we get married after 6 weeks?" And I said, no. So no, I've never been married, and I haven't even married the son of the doctor, of the dentist, of the whatever that my parents chose for me. I actually went off with a professional rock climber who hadn't even finished school. So I was always a person who did things a little bit different, but I just followed the energy. It's been the same with my relationship with me with regards to success and career. That's the other thing, that when you look at your relationship with you, what does a career mean to you? What does success mean to you? I dropped several sort of so-called high-flying corporate jobs to go and do my thing, to go and travel, to go and start my agency, to go and start my other business. Isn't that also a relationship with you? And yes, that person I would actually get married to straight away, and that's actually me. Because how much charges on the word relationship already, and how much charges on the word getting married.
Yeah.
It can be fantastically easy, and it can be now I own you and you have to do whatever I have to do.
Right. Yeah. So this relationship with yourself, were you always like that, or did you develop that? How did you get?
You know what? I was always like that, and I always made myself wrong for that. Because as you know, for example, already in school, all the guys are always going after those who looked after those girls who looked as if they were really, really needy. And then obviously they were the ones that were picked by the guys. And I was always the one who was so strong inside and so independent. And then obviously they would kind of not latch onto me. So when we had sort of a school party and we were all standing in a circle, and then comes the slow romantic music of La Boum, the film from Paris, and I was never picked, but I was always taller than everybody else, and as you know what it's like to be tall, so they always went for the small ones, for the ones that looked like a little doll, and I was always sort of tall and skinny and whatever. So I then went into the same direction. It was like, I don't need anyone, and I can do all my life by myself. But I was always feeling weird about it, and I was always making myself wrong for it. And at the same time, now with Access, I know that I was just being me, and it's okay to do that.
Right. Awesome. Kathy says she hated those damn dances. She was tall and skinny too. I think the three of us were definitely tall and skinny. Cool.
Yeah, so
so when you found just Access Consciousness and the tools, how did you get out of the wrongness of you? How did you realize that you weren't wrong for those things?
It's when you start looking at how much you can be grateful for in your life, that you have actually achieved the way you are, and not going with the flow with everybody else. And also looking at what is different about you, and that only when you're different you can actually create change. So every time that I was wanting to be like everybody else, that didn't work anyway, because you're really not being you, and when you're not being you, nobody sees you anyway. And that's the next thing, whether it was in private or also with a couple of jobs that I had, I was always saying, I always say the things, and then 3 minutes later a guy says it and they say yeah. So nobody sees me. Was I actually seeing myself? So that's the relationship that you're starting with, and that's almost like having romance with you, your body, with your life, by accepting, or let's say by acknowledging and seeing all the great stuff that you've already done, and being grateful for that, and having the acknowledgement for that, what you are creating for you.
Beautifully put. Yeah, gratitude for you, and gratitude for acknowledgement. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about the body. So did you always have a great relationship with your body?
No.
Okay.
I was making my body wrong throughout my entire life. obviously, it's really quite interesting. You know how you have people looking sort of how would you say, mobbing people even in school for being really, really big and fat and everything, and they go for a diet or whatever. They did the same with me because, I mean, you and I, we have a similar figure. We're tall and skinny and long legs, whatever. I was even skinnier then. I was like, I looked as if I'd never eaten, but I was eating all day. It's just the way that my body was. And I was making myself wrong for that because everybody else was making me wrong and calling me a giraffe or whatever, Although I don't really have a long neck. It's just the long legs, like with a giraffe. That's what I was always saying. Do I have a long neck? So I was always sort of trying to pull their legs. So the other thing was also that my body created quite a few sort of health issues. So I had to have several operations for different things. And with Access, all of a sudden, when you look at your body and you say, body, I just love you the way you are. I'm just so grateful for all the things that you've shown me. And I've actually said that straight after the ABC, the advanced body class that you and I attended in Mexico, and after the abuse hold. All of a sudden, there comes this different energy into it where you, again, show so much more gratitude. And it's your body that is here in this life. It's your body you need a bed for. It's your body that needs clothes. It's your body that is traveling to a class, whatever. And I just said, and all of a sudden, as soon as I realized that it's my body that actually created all this for me, and bringing more gratitude and more allowance into it for the tummy to grow bigger or whatever, and then reducing again and seeing how it changes with the different classes, all of a sudden you have a completely different energy. Was that the same for you?
Yes.
Your body is so grateful for your gratitude that it just shows you a different energy. Hey, I have no jet lag whatsoever. Wow.
Wow.
That is amazing, isn't it? I've just come back from Mexico yesterday.
Yeah, things have definitely changed for me, and a lot of it I can't even put words to it. But one of those things was that, like, fairly recently, I had put on a little bit of weight, but I'm not. We're tall, so if you put on, nobody can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was just like, but I didn't have a point of view about it. I could actually feel my body relax. It was almost like my body was not happy being as skinny as it was, and I didn't know that. Like, and it's like, and my body now just has this ease to it, and it's like, and I have this allowance, and just gratitude for it. So it's such a gift. So
it's almost the 5 elements of intimacy, isn't it?
Yes.
Honoring your body the way it is, trusting it that it will choose for you if you're asking it more questions, being an allowance with putting on weight, reducing again, and just sort of being hungry, not being hungry, nibbles or not nibbles, whatever. The vulnerability with your body, with it, even showing you certain things that you might want to look at, and then obviously the gratitude. It's just so amazing when you're putting a lot more attention into your relationship with your body.
Yeah, and what else would be possible? Kathy made a good point. She says, it's my body that requires my stock market skills. And So, and for those of you who don't know, your body is actually the one that wants the money. Your body, because your body is the one that wants the nice clothes and it wants the yummy food, right? So, so what could we, like, it's almost like I want to ask an invitation to everybody, like, what can we be now with our bodies? It wasn't available before. Starting from the gratitude for it, and gratitude for it exactly the way it is and exactly the way that it's not. Right?
And what if you added a bit of romance or a lot of romance into your life in different ways? So what is the typical romance sort of picture-wise? So it would be somebody running you a bath with rose petals in it, the bath containing at least a bottle of champagne, loads of candles around it. So that's a typical indulging in a romantic bath. What if romance could also be allowing your body to be the way it is? And also, what would it be like if you brought romance into your business? Wouldn't that bring a lot more ease into it? And romance to me already has this energy of relaxing, of something soothing. It could also be driving fast on the motorway. It could be allowing yourself to fly first class. it could also be just eating a slice of bread with a thick layer of butter on it, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just luxury. It's a bit like hedonism as well. Hedonism can be the simplest thing in the world if it tastes good at the time, or it could be just a sunset or romance with all the birds that you can hear here around me as I'm sitting outside on my balcony. How much more ease would that bring? Just allowing a bit of romance into your life.
That is so beautiful, because it's just that, like, indulging, but that enjoyment of life, the enjoyment of being embodied. And how much more can we have that with ourselves, with our lives, with our bodies? Wow, beautifully put. Thank you so much, Chrissy. This has been such a lovely conversation. I did not know we were going to go here, but I'm so happy we did. And thank you for your yummy body and you and who you be in the world. I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation. That was creating another space for this, especially because it's called being naked. And how often are we trying to do some image, and then we're covering the image with the image, and then there's another image that's covering the image with the image. And what if we could just literally be naked and just be who we truly be, and how much more would that bring into our life in whatever way?
Yes, and even into the world of invitation to others. Whatever you guys do, don't enjoy your bodies more.
Yeah, don't enjoy it, never ever. Hey, where will I see you again? What's the next class you're going to?
Thank you, everyone. Well, I'm going to talk to Chrissy privately.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Goodbye.